Hey YouTube, it's Dethatcher, and today we're going to assemble the SunJoe Scarcifier Dethatcher 15-inch, 13-amp electrical here. It's got two interchangeable blades. I'm looking to dethatch here Bermuda, but let's do an assembly video and show you guys how this goes together. Alright, so the bag pops out first. The handle now comes out, but it looks like it is hooked to the machine, so we'll kind of set this outside of the box. Here is the unit. There's going to be a triangular box here we're going to unwrap. And this has one of the blades in it with little tines. We'll set this aside, as it looks like the unit already has the scarifier on the bottom. Next, we'll pull out these four rods. And then in the one side pouch, a bunch of just green, SunJoe green knobs and bolts and handles here. And then finally our instructions. All right, so to do the assembly here, we're gonna have the Dethatcher assembly, which I will show you at the end how to swap this out. Right now, the scarifier is in there. We'll set that aside. First off, you're gonna wanna grab this bag of green parts, and you're gonna wanna pull out two of these pieces of plastic. You'll see here, there's only two of these. They have a round disc with like some teeth on them. So grab each of these, and then grab two of these nuts. They're just little screw-on nuts here. And then out of the black bars, there's four of them. Two of them are gonna have a bend to them, which you can see comes down and it bends over a little bit. We're going to want the wider part on the outside of the machine, and then they're going to come in towards the middle here. But let me get you closer and we can kind of take a look at this. Okay, so we're going to take one of these bars with an S-bend in it, find the end with a cap on it. They'll have a plastic cap. Grab one of these, and then we're going to slide in this bar into the plastic piece. Again, when you slide it in, you're going to want to have the bend of the bar coming inward towards the side of this that has the teeth. So when we put it on the machine, it'll be going inward. So slide that in, and then you can look through the hole there and see that it goes all the way through. Next, you're going to take this and you're going to slide this on the bolt that is sticking out of the machine. And when you slide this on, you'll notice there is an arrow on the green side. There's going to be three little black notches which are hard to see. There's 1, 2, 3. So the arrow needs to line up with one of them so that it will interlock. If you do the one that's closest to the back, the handle will be quite low for someone shorter. If you do the middle one, medium, and then the tallest one will be high. I'm a bit shorter. I'm just going to put it right in the middle. So again, this arrow lines up with this line here. Next, you're going to take this wing. You're going to see the threads are closest to the one side with the flat piece of this, I guess. You're just going to slide it on here and tighten it. Again, making sure that it stays on as you tighten this down. Next, we're going to take the second bar that has the exact same shape. We're going to take the second piece of green plastic here. Again, making sure that the bend goes towards the pokey side of this and slide it together. Looking through, make sure the hole lines up. And then we're going to slide this on the other side. You might have to jiggle the black bar, twist it like this inside the plastic to get the hole to line up. Again, make sure the arrow on the plastic that's green lines up with the mark on the black so that you have it even. Mine is in the middle on both of these. And then take this green nut again and tighten this side down. All right, so we're gonna grab these two black straight bars that we have left now. You'll notice they have a square notch in the thin rounded U part, which you can't really see here. We're also going to grab the two more of these kind of wing nuts, which are green with the bolt. We're going to unscrew the bolt. We're going to take the arm with the cupped part on the inside of the frame that we've already built. So you can see here we have this tube. We're going to set this on the inside of the arm. The bolt is going to have a square head on it, so it's going to go from the inside of the machine out through that arm. And you're going to turn it until you feel it lock. And then we're going to take our wing nut and we're going to tighten it on the outside here. All right, and then next we're gonna do the other side, same thing. Grab the bar with the cupped part, cup it on the inside of this bar over here. Grab one more wing nut with a bolt in it, take the bolt out. Slide it through the inside of this arm, make sure it locks in, slide it through the arm itself, and then take that nut and tighten that down. Tighten that till it's snug. So next we're going to take, again, 2 more of these wing nuts with bolts. We're going to take the bolts out. We're going to take the arm itself here, and we're going to make sure that the green handle is on top, so the handle points up like this. We're going to, again, put it on the frame that we've been building out. This time, the hand rest arm piece on top we're putting on is going to go on the outside of the tube instead of the inside. The bolts though are still going to go from the inside out, but there is a square hole in the tube. So slide that through, slide the top piece on, and then tighten on one of these wing nuts. It is a little challenging to do by yourself, or better yet, just tip it back on the ground so it's held in place, and then tighten that wing nut down. I like to tighten the wing nuts down so that they are parallel with the bars, so they don't snag. And then next we're going to do the outside here. So again, taking your bolt, pushing it through the tube from the bottom here, and then trying to align up the top. Okay, if you're having a hard time getting these to align, so you can see my hole is too far down, I need to stretch it back. Do not stretch it. I thought this was a manufacturing issue, it is not. This cable here needs to get, one of the nuts you put on here, the cable needs to come around the top of it. Snap it in this clip down here, the cable itself, so that it's out of the way. It's kind of a bear to do, but you gotta kind of force this up, maybe use a screwdriver below it and pop it in. And then when you go to put this on, you'll see the hole nicely lines up. No need to force it. Do not force it, there's no need to do that. And then tighten that down. And then finally, they give you this little black clip here. And you can use this to snap on here to help hold this cable. Put the clip on this cable first and push it up into the smaller portion. So you can see this, the cable's gonna get snapped up in the smaller portion, the bigger one's gonna stretch and go around the bar here. Like so. You can see it's hooked on the cable and then snap it on the bar. It's actually kind of stretchable. I'm gonna pull this a little bit so a little less slack at the bottom, and there you go. That is how you assemble the 15-inch 13-amp scarifier and dethatcher from SunJoe here. Now, one more thing before we leave, I'm gonna show you how to swap out the blade at the bottom, because the scarifier is what comes in the bottom. That kind of slices through the soil. We're gonna tip this over. We're gonna grab the Allen wrench that comes with it, and you just gotta take out these 2 bolts here. Now, I don't want to scarify, I'd like to dethatch, so we're gonna swap these out. Take your Allen wrench, loosen these 2 bolts and take them all the way out. So there's 1, there's 2. And then we're gonna pull this out. You're gonna lift up on this end, this far that we just pulled bolts out, and then we're gonna slide it that way, shake a little bit, and it'll pop right out like that. All right, and once you pop this out, we're gonna set this to the side. Next, you're gonna grab your dethatcher. The end of mine just kind of popped off. You just pop that back on there so it spins. Again, you're gonna notice it has like a rounded top and a flat side on the bottom. The rounded part is going to fit into the machine. It'll be flat on top, but we'll do the same thing. So there's going to be a metal stud on this end. We're going to slide the metal stud back in on this side. Make sure it slides in smoothly. Push the dethatcher or the scarifier, whatever you're putting inward. Once you get this end in, push in. You might have to stretch the machine out a little bit, and you'll hear that lock as it goes in. And then next, just take the 2 bolts we have and tighten these back down. And I'm going to turn the Allen wrench so the shorter side's going to go in so I get a little bit more leverage, because you get a longer handle versus the height. Definitely don't want this popping off. All All right, before we leave, let me just show you guys a few of the settings and how to use it because it is pretty simple here. We're gonna plug it in real quick. I'm gonna show you how to start it, stop it, and then the height adjustment settings here. So let me grab a power cable real quick. Okay, so before we get going, let's put the bag on. Let's turn this around. You'll notice the bag has this little stud sticking out. There's one on each side here. And down on the unit itself, it's gonna have kind of just like a groove in here it's gonna fit in. The metal strap is gonna be on top. The SunJoe logo to me looks wonky, but that is the right side up. And then you're just gonna pull this flap up. And as you pull this up, you're gonna take these studs here down here and slide them into the slots on the machine. Come around, because for some reason it's not sliding in so easy. Oh, pop the second side in, and there the bag is on there. Do not run this without the bag. There's even a warning. It'll probably kick up a bunch of rocks and other stuff you don't want hitting you, so it's kind of a hazard. Next, we're going to plug the cable in. You could just plug it in, but we got to pull this white safety cap out first. So it comes with this white cap in here. Just grab it and pull straight out. That's just for shipping, so the prongs don't get bent. You could just plug it in, but if you tug on it when you're going around and the cable's dragging in the yard, it'll pop out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the plugs, twist them around each other. So again, you have this plug, put this plug over the top of it, and then wrap this around the back side of the the black plug, and then bring the two ends together and plug them in. This will at least give you kind of like a knot like this. So when you go to pull, it's not pulling the plug out, it's gonna be pulling it kind of down and back towards you. And then also if you look at the back here, there's a little clip. The way to use the clip is take the cable, bend it in half. You're gonna have a loop in the bottom of this. You're gonna come from the machine side, loop it through, and then you see this hook right here, we're gonna come over the top and hook it on there, and we're gonna pull down a little bit, and that will secure it. So when you're pulling to the yard, it'll pull on the machine, it will not pull on the plug. Again, I like to tie mine off like this too, just for safety, just personal preference. So on the machine, you have this handle, which when it's down on the ground, it looks sideways. I guess you can pull it out towards the outside of the machine, and you can slide it forwards and backwards. And I don't know if you can see that, but the tires themselves, if you look on the other side as well, the tires are gonna move up and down. That's gonna adjust the height of the machine. Now it's gonna say 10, 5, 0, -5, -10 is at the bottom. The 10 millimeter here at the top, this is gonna be the highest setting. This is gonna be just for doing a light thatch layer. A 5 is going to be for raking a healthy lawn. Again, do not use the scarifier on these settings. The middle 0 here is gonna be perfect for doing everything. So you might just set it at that, might be an easy way to do it. Good for transportation, good for storage, good for scarifying, and good for thatching, which they call raking. And then once you get into the negatives, do not thatch. You will damage the tines, which I just installed. Scarifying is going to be these blades that slice or scarify the soil. Again, -5 is going to do some decent scarifying, and then if you want some much deeper, kind of heavier scarifying, you will do that -10. And then to use this, the handle setup is a little bit different. You're going to have to push in the button here first. I'm tilting it back so it doesn't hit the pavement, but you're gonna push the button first, and then you're gonna pull this handle. And you can hear that it is working. If you pull the handle first and then push, it will not work. It actually locks the button for safety, so you've got to push the button first and then pull the handle. Anyways, that is how you assemble the SunJoe 15-inch 13-amp scarifier and dethatcher. That's how you adjust a few of the settings. Again, if the handle's too short, too tall for you, you can adjust them down here with the notch. We went over on the settings on how to get the depth set for thatching or raking, which are going to be the higher settings like 10 and 5, maybe 0, and then how you get the scarifying, which are going to be the negative values or the 0 as well. So if you found this video helpful, please do like, share, and subscribe, and as always, until next time.